Okay, this is a live video. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to remove the background from your images or graphics. So right now, let's start with a really simple one. You have this basketball, and if I want to remove the background, since this one is a circle, you just go to your circle tool and hold on Control on your keyboard. Just hold it down to have a perfect circle, and then you create a circle, and then basically just move it over to the center. And then what you can do, you can also do, like, you can make the outline white so that you can see it, and then now you can drag it. So when you're resizing it, make sure that you resize it with these two corners so that this proportion of the circle won't change. And yeah, just go close like that, and so you just align that to make sure. See, it's better to have something in like that than something out like that, because if it's something out like that, because we're gonna power clip this, the white will show. So it's better to go in a bit, right? Say for example here, it's fine to go in a bit than going out, so yeah, we won't see the white one. Okay, so I think that one is fine. So now this is the object, right, that we created. So if you go to view and then wireframe, you would see that this is my circle, which is my path, and this one is the image. So I'm going back to view and enhance view. So the first thing you have to do is to click on the background image, or actually the image with the ball, and then you go to objects and then power clip, and then place inside the frame. And then the frame is the circle that we created. And if you click on the circle here, and it goes in, right? Now, since I have a white outline, see there's a white outline, you can remove it by right mouse click on this no fill icon. Sorry, no outline. There, so it's gone. So you can do that. So right now, like if I put this in a different background, so for example here, I can, say put the ball like that. And then I can also, to make it more realistic, I can put a drop shadow here. So let's just say, I don't know how realistic will this be, but let's just try to make this realistic. So if I go black and maybe gray, dark, that's the gray. Okay, and then I remove the outline, and then I'm going to go transparency, uniform transparency, and of course this one I have to put it to the front, so object, order to front of page, and it would look like this, right? I mean, this is not really what do you call it? It's not really realistic. I'm gonna duplicate this plus sign in your keyboard to duplicate. I'm gonna move it over here. Or what you can do, you can click on this one. Since it's a power clip, you can go drop shadow, click on shadow, and then I'm going to do a shadow like this, and then going like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it like that first, right? So, but then I'm going to click on the shadow, and I'm going to go to objects and then break drop shadow apart, because my objective is I want this separated, because I'm going to resize this shadow, because this is more realistic than the hard shadow here. Okay, so I click on it and then go to object and then break drop shadow apart. So now this one is the shadow and the ball is still there. Now, since it's already individual, now you can play around with this. You can make it, you know, you can reshape it. You can resize it. Yeah, but I think it's more realistic this way. What do you think? Right? Now, if you think this is too opaque, now you can create it. You can make it transparent. You can change the transparency of it. And that's the size of the transparency. Okay, so that's for the simple objects like circle, like a box, you know. So now, so let's analyze this one. So this one, this is the power clip. You're not actually cropping it, because once I say I'm going to duplicate this one and put it up here, right? See, always look here at the bottom. It says power clip ellipse on layer 1. So this is a power clip object. This is also power clip. And this one's power clip, which means to say when you click on the power clipped object, when you click on the power clipped object, you can actually see this what options here to edit. So once you click on edit, then you can still see the actual image. It's still there, it's hidden, right? So okay, let's go to finish here, and then let's go here. I'll click on this one and then edit. So probably what I can do here is, if I click on edit, I'm in the power clip, and then I'm going to create like even a square like that. Okay, and I'll fill it black, remove the outline, and I'm going to go to my transparency tool. I'm going to do like a fountain transparency, and I'm going to bring it up like this. Okay, since this is a power clip, right? See that blue thing there? That's the actual path. So what I'm just doing here is that you can actually still edit what's inside that power clip. Okay, so because I want to put darker shade or here on the bottom of the ball. So if I click on finish, and see, I made it darker here. So these two are the same image, which is power clipped. But what I did here, if I go to edit, within the power clip, I made like a linear fill, a black linear fill. So that's why the effect would be like this. It has more shadow on the ball, and actually it looks like the color changed because of the black gradient. Okay, so now that's for, you know, object like circle. Now what if you have this kind of photo? Okay, now just to be clear, this kind of effect, like, you know, removing backgrounds using power clip, it's just a faster way to do it. But of course, you know, if you really want like the edges not to be too rigid, I mean too, you know, too abrupt, like if you want like feathering and stuff like that, CorelDRAW is not the way to go. Corel Photo Paint is, or Photoshop. I hate to say Photoshop, but Photoshop does a can do a good thing in removing backgrounds with feathering. So when I see feathering, like you can still, it's not hard edges, right? But of course, if your print is small and you want to, you know, you don't need to feather the background, so that will be fine. Okay, so anyway, so the concept of the ball is also the same concept of this one. So I'm going to make a path. I'm going to use Bezier tool. I'm going to make a path around this soccer player or football player, and then I'm going to put this the photo inside the path. So I'm going to start here with the path. So I'm going to go to Bezier. And, you know, in my experience, if you're this close and then you're creating lines like this, see, I'm doing all Bezier nodes. I'm going all straight lines. You really won't notice the the smoothness of the image. So anyway, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to talk about my career as a graphic designer. Actually, if I'm going to talk about my career, I'm a graphic designer, but I'm also a web developer, and I'm also a sign maker. At the same time, I own a sign shop. At the same time, I teach CAD. I teach AutoCAD and SolidWorks. SolidWorks is a 3D modeling software. I teach that in the university. I love to create videos like this because this is one way to share my knowledge and my talent and my experience in graphic design. I've been using CorelDRAW for a long time, probably 20 or 25 years now. And I like it so much that I always use this this software in most of my projects. From mock-ups, from even 3D modeling, I base my drawings, my 3D drawings based on a CorelDRAW file. Yeah, so this is one of my, I would say, my favorite software. Yeah, so, and as a graphic designer, don't stick on just CorelDRAW or just 2D drawings, right? Don't be, what do you call this? Don't be trapped into just graphic design, because in the media, in the, what do you call this? In what do you call it? In advertising or whatever field you are in, it's not only graphic design that's been used. It's also like multimedia. You have to go into 3D too. So in 3D, especially now, 3D printers are very accessible. Like I've got a 3D printer, and since I know how to create 3D models, I can create models and then I can print it. So yeah, so basically the lesson here is that, I'm just gonna fix that later, is that do not stick on what you want to learn only, but it's also good what you need to learn. Like if you mastered 2D already, go for 3-dimensional. SketchUp is a good 3D software. The 3D software, you can use that for doing mock-ups. So for example, you're designing a package, let's say a chocolate bar or something like that. So there are models in the 3D warehouse that you can grab it. You can still do your graphics in CorelDRAW, but you can use the 3D software to, you know, to paste or to embed your image in CorelDRAW to the package, 3D package. Yeah, so that is my kind of advice to some graphic designers. And only graphic designers, if you know graphic design, then go on learning web design. I learned a hard way in creating websites before using Dreamweaver, but now the web designing or web developments changed a lot. You can actually create a website very easily. And as a graphic designer, you already have an edge in being a web designer, web developer, because you already have the skill of graphic design, right? And what you're seeing in the graphic in the website, that's also graphic design, right? See those icons and, you know, stuff like that. So I would encourage you, whoever's listening right now, or whoever's watching, and they're a graphic designer, don't stick only to graphic design. Go learn stuff. Learn being a web developer or a 3D modeler. Yeah, so that's my advice. And that's what I did in my career. I don't stick to only graphic design, but what do you call this? I explore on what else can be used in, or what other tools do I need to do so that I can present my ideas well, my visuals. Because being a graphic designer, that's really more in presentation, right? You're presenting a product, you're presenting a product. And if you only know how to present in 2D, and somebody knows how to present in 2D and 3D, now that is an advantage, right? So you always have to always think that you always have an edge with other people. Okay, so now I've got the path already. So now we go back to view and then click on wireframe. And you see that's my path, right? Okay, and go to view and enhance view. So now I'm ready to power clip it. So click on the image and then you go to objects and then power clip, place inside the frame. And the frame is my Bezier, image here, or the frame. So click that and there you go. Now if you look at it closely, this is what I'm saying, that it's too, too sharp, right? There's no feathering at all. But like I said, if you're putting this in a quick layout, you get a brochure which is 8.5 by 11, nobody will notice that, especially once it's printed. But if your image is like this, I mean, it's printed this big, then you have to worry about this one. This one has to be feathered. But something like this, it's fine. Okay, so now we're going to move this over to the left side, right side, and I'm going to move this person here, or that player, right? So I'm changing the background already. So if you take a look, right, so from here, it looks like it's, the term Photoshopped. It looks like it was from a different background. That's because of, lots of things, like brightening in the, the levels of the brightness of this picture, and then also you don't have a drop shadow. Just for the sake of putting drop shadows, let's try to put a drop shadow on this person here, so it's more realistic, and it's like he's actually on the basketball court. So I go to my drop shadow tool and then go like this, right? Okay, this is not the right drop shadow, because it looks like I cut out a photo of this person and stick it on there, right? So our drop shadow should be really in the bottom here, right? So let's see if I can separate this drop shadow. So if click there and then click on object and then break drop shadow apart. So I have two objects, that one and then this one here. Now this one's, I can actually move this down. Okay, so for example like that, right? I mean, it's really up to you where the drop shadow would be, because it depends upon where the light is, right? Let's just say it's like that. Or play around with it. I can also mirror it like this. Actually, I can't mirror it. Okay, so I'll go back to the normal one. And if the drop shadow is too dark, you can also change that. If you click on that, and then I think this is how you change the transparency. Oh no, that's not the one. I'm just gonna go undo here. Okay, there's something wrong with my, I think because I changed the transparency. Let's go back to, okay, anyway, I'm gonna do that again. So click there and then click on drop shadow. Sometimes you shouldn't be scared on trying new things. Don't be scared of making mistakes, because when you make mistakes in graphics, no big deal, because the mistakes in graphics, you don't hurt anybody with that, right? It's not dangerous. You can always delete it and do it again. So that's what's fun in graphic design. Just experiment and don't be afraid to make mistakes. So I guess that's, if you zoom out, it looks like it's in there. And if I put this wall here, I mean, the drop shadow could be improved more, but you get the point, right? You get the point in the background, removing backgrounds and stuff. Yeah, so for me, that's not too bad. I'm just showing you what CorelDRAW can do, like simple removing of backgrounds like that. Like I said again, like if you click on this one, that's a power clip. You can still edit the power clip. That's the image there, right? You can, I don't know why you can put here. You can probably change the color of, of his shirt. Yeah. So say, let's just do a test here. I want to change the color of his socks. So let's do something like, okay, so I'm going to create a Bezier path, and then, okay, let's just say I'm going to color this, say, orangey, right? I'm going to remove the background. And what I'm going to do transparency. So I'm going to make that transparent. So it looks orange now. So when I click on finish, sorry, I think we have to make it more transparent. Yeah, so more transparent. Yeah, and like that. So it's orange. Yeah, so I think that's it. Just tracking down my time here. Okay, so any questions? If you are in the chat, you're in the chat. If you have any questions, I'm giving like for you guys to think about the question and put it in the chat here so I can answer it. So I'll give you like a minute to think about it, but if not, it's fine. I'm okay. Now, if you like what I'm doing right now, doing live videos, hopefully I'm gonna do it every day this time of the day, because this is my free time day. Yeah, so just put it in the comment section, or you can type it in the live section, a live chat. So any questions, I'll give you a minute. And then if not, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. So I'll just wait for a question for a minute here, and if not, I'm gonna end the live session. Okay, so sure, send a question right now. I'll do one last question, and then I'll end this live video. So any questions? I think Surash has a question. Okay, so I think his question is, why did you remove your previous live videos? No, I didn't remove it. It's still in the in my channel. So if you go to videos, and then if you go to my recent videos, I think I made like three live videos, and it's all there. Okay, so if there's no questions, I will see you tomorrow. And good night or good morning, everybody. And have a nice night or have a nice day. Bye.